The world of One Piece has many devil fruits, with each having interesting and otherworldly abilities, but not all devil fruits are created equally. While some fruits grant incredible abilities such as lightning control, creating earthquakes, or even becoming a literal god, others are not so incredible. The right devil fruit can turn a character from not so impressive to a force of nature. Some characters are near unstoppable with their devil fruits, but without it they are pretty unimpressive. There have been many examples of characters whose abilities have taken them to great heights, which begs the question, how strong would these characters be without their devil fruits? As a result, I have decided to create this series called Carried, where I will look at how strong a character is with their devil fruit, and then gauge how strong they would be without it. The goal of this series is to look at various devil fruit users across the series, and at the end of the video we will answer one question: is this character being carried by their devil fruit or not? Every devil fruit user forms a fighting style around their devil fruit, but some rely on their fruits more than others. It's time to find out who is carried by their fruit and who is not. Out of the 85 children of Big Mom, only one stands at the top as the strongest. The second son of Big Mom, and the strongest sweet commander of the Big Mom pirates, Charlotte Katakuri. In this episode of the Carried series, we are going to evaluate the strongest sweet commander of the Big Mom pirates, the spear-wielding donut lover himself, Charlotte Katakuri. Let's get started. As always, we are going to start by analyzing Katakuri's durability. Like many devil fruits, Katakuri's mochi fruit does not help with his overall durability. Katakuri isn't a character that gets hit very often, but that doesn't mean he can't take some serious hits. In his fight with Luffy, there were several occasions where he got hit by Luffy in Gear 4. Katakuri was sent across and through multiple buildings within the mirror world, and came out of the ordeal relatively fine. This is impressive considering how powerful Gear 4 is. In his fight against Cracker, Luffy used Gear 3 attacks, which Cracker was easily able to block. When Luffy used Gear 4, however, he immediately destroyed Cracker's defense. This shows the difference in power between Gear 3 and Gear 4. And like I mentioned earlier, Katakuri took multiple hits from this Gear 4 Luffy and was relatively fine. Overall, Katakuri has solid durability. When it comes to Katakuri's endurance, it is actually better than you might expect. During his 11-hour fight with Luffy, Katakuri injured himself to make up for hitting Luffy with a cheap shot earlier in the fight. Whilst we now know that Luffy has a mythical zone that helps with his overall durability and endurance, the same can't be said for Katakuri. Despite this, Katakuri was able to continue his fight with Luffy and take even more hits after the fact. He even got up after taking Luffy's strongest attack in Gear 4 Snake Man, the King Cobra, although he did collapse shortly afterwards. It is also important to note that even though Luffy said that haki runs out and grows weaker over time, Katakuri never once ran out of haki, whilst Luffy needed to leave the mirror world for 10 minutes to replenish his haki. Over the course of the fight, Katakuri's haki never wavered, and he continued to fight even after taking multiple heavy hits from Luffy. Despite injuring himself, his speed and maneuverability were not impacted during his fight with Luffy. Overall, Katakuri has respectable endurance. When it comes to movement speed, Katakuri is not lacking in this department. Luffy's Gear 2nd speed is a result of him learning one of the 6 powers techniques, Shave, and after the 2-year time skip, Luffy's Shave technique has become even faster. Despite this, Katakuri was able to easily outspeed Luffy, and this was without the use of his devil fruit. There were some occasions throughout the fight with Luffy that he closed the distance between himself and Luffy, and attacked Luffy before he could even react to it. All in all, Katakuri has very impressive movement speed, even without the use of his devil fruit. In terms of reaction speed, Katakuri excels in this department. With his observation haki, Katakuri was able to avoid many of Luffy's attacks by restructuring the form of his body to dodge oncoming attacks. He was able to do this so seamlessly that Luffy was confused as to why his attacks were not working on him. Naturally, without his devil fruit, Katakuri would not be able to reshape his body to dodge oncoming attacks, but he has shown on many occasions that he is more than capable of dodging attacks without the use of his devil fruit. Katakuri even mentioned in his fight with Luffy that it had been many years since he last got punched, showing just how effective he is at reacting and dodging oncoming attacks. Once Katakuri regained his composure during their fight, he was easily able to dodge Luffy's attacks in Gear 4. With the use of his observation haki, Katakuri's reaction speed is so impressive, he was able to dodge hits from Luffy's fastest form in Gear 4 Snake Man, and this was whilst Luffy was using Future Sight himself to fight against Katakuri. Luffy himself stated that his attacks in Snake Man get increasingly faster, and despite this, Katakuri was able to dodge many of Luffy's attacks, and even counterattack Luffy on some occasions. Overall, Katakuri has extraordinary reaction speed. Katakuri's range is impressive. He was able to match the range of Luffy's attacks on many occasions, and the Nika fruit excels at range. Without the Mochi fruit, Katakuri would still have impressive range. Katakuri stands at a staggering 16 feet 8 inches tall, which is well above the average human. He also has with him his signature weapon, Mole, a spear that is as tall as Katakuri himself. He is also shown to use jelly beans as a substitute for pistols. Katakuri can flick a jelly bean with enough force and accuracy to drop a grown man at a distance, and he has done this on 2 occasions. The mole spear also adds to Katakuri's range, in the same way that swords aid a swordsman in combat. Katakuri has shown a high level of proficiency with the mole spear, as he was easily able to puncture buildings within the mirror world, and forced Luffy to dodge his attacks on multiple occasions. Even without his devil fruit, Katakuri has respectable range. In terms of attack power, Katakuri is not the best in this department. With his devil fruit, he was able to grow multiple appendages and use them as extra arms and legs to fight with. He could even use his devil fruit awakening to create 2 floating arms to attack Luffy with at a distance. When you take Katakuri's devil fruit out of the equation, his attack power does take a significant hit. We have seen him use the mole spear for attacks, but without his devil fruit, he would lack the drilling aspect of his signature attack, the Mochi Thrust. Although Katakuri's signature weapon is his trident, he stopped using it after he landed his only successful attack with it during his fight with Luffy. So we don't know if he has any other named attacks that he doesn't need his devil fruit for, or how powerful those attacks would be. On another note, Katakuri has above average armament haki. His haki was strong enough to damage Luffy's hands when they clashed. This includes Luffy in base, and Luffy in Gear 4 Snake Man. Overall, whilst his attacks are still fairly powerful, he does lose a bit of his attack power without his devil fruit. Katakuri does not excel in terms of destructive capabilities. With his devil fruit awakening, he could affect the environment around him and use his surroundings as a weapon. Without his devil fruit, he would lack this level of destruction. The best we have seen him do is destroy a building and create a large hole in the mirror world, and both of these were with the assistance of his devil fruit. Without his devil fruit, Katakuri is left with lackluster destructive capabilities. In terms of overall fighting prowess, Katakuri is one of the most well-rounded fighters in One Piece. His armament haki is above average, and can hold his own against Luffy in Gear 4. I bring this up because we saw that Luffy's Gear 3 attacks were easily blocked by Cracker, but there were times when Luffy easily broke through Cracker's defense using Gear 4, yet Luffy was not able to break through Katakuri's guard using the same attacks. Katakuri has incredible movement speed, and some of the best reaction speed we have seen in the series, easily being able to navigate through Luffy's attacks, whilst Luffy himself was using Future Sight. Katakuri himself has excellent observation haki, being able to glimpse into the future using Future Sight himself. He has the Mole Spear, which he has shown a high proficiency with. As of the recording of this video, we don't know which grade the Mole Spear falls into, so we don't know which weapons to compare it to. Katakuri is also highly proficient at hand-to-hand combat, as he got the better of Luffy on many occasions during their fight. With everything I have said, it is time to answer the question, is Katakuri being carried by his devil fruit? Looking at everything discussed, we have a character with solid durability. He has respectable endurance, impressive movement speed, incredible reaction speed, above average range, below average attack power, and subpar destructive capabilities. And the answer is no. Katakuri is not being carried by his devil fruit. What made Katakuri so powerful was never his devil fruit, it was always his haki. Even without his devil fruit, he would still have incredible movement speed and reaction speed. He would still have the Mole Spear, which we have seen him easily destroy buildings with. Katakuri also has Conqueror's haki, meaning he has the potential to learn advanced Conqueror's haki, which would fix his lackluster attack power and destructive capability. But of course, this is just my opinion, and you can let me know yours in the comments. Do you think Katakuri is being carried by his devil fruit or not? How strong do you think he would be without his devil fruit? Me personally, I believe his position would not change, and he would still be the strongest commander of the Big Mom Pirates. If you wanted to see more videos in this series, you can click on this playlist right here. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or a dislike if you didn't, and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.